Hello, forever friends and family. I would like to welcome everybody to webinar number 13, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Today is January 29th, Monday, 9 p.m. and my name is Alex Turnitsky. I am an organizer of this webinar. Can you imagine it's already last Monday of January 2024? We just started recently New Year and already January 29th. So again, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Forward. What do you want most? Is that money, fame, power, contentment, personality, peace of mind, happiness? The 13 steps to riches described in this book offer the shortest dependable philosophy of individual achievement ever presented for the benefit of the man or woman who is searching for a definite goal in life. Before beginning the book, you will profit greatly if you recognize the fact that the book was not written to entertain. You cannot digest the contents properly in a week or a month. After reading the book thorough, Dr. Miller Reeves, Hutchinson, nationally known consultant engineer and a long-time associate of Thomas A. Edison, said, "This is not a novel. It's a textbook on individual achievement that came directly from the experience of hundreds of American most successful men." Let's go back to the chapter when we finished last time. It didn't work out. Hold on, please. Right here, the capital value of service. I would like to continue to read my friend and partner from Brooklyn, Zoe Sergey. Zoe, please go ahead.
Good evening, forever family. The capital value of your services. The person whose income is derived entirely from the sale of personal services is no less a merchant than the man who sells commodities, and it might well be added, such a person is subject to exactly the same rules of conduct as the merchant who sells merchandise. This has been emphasized because the majority of people who live by the sale of personal services make the mistake of considering themselves free from the rules of conduct and the responsibilities attached to those who are engaged in marketing commodities. The new way of marketing services has practically forced both employer and employee into partnerships alliances, through which both take into consideration the rights of the third party, the public they serve. The day of the go-getter has passed. He has been supplanted by the go-giver. High-pressure methods in business finally blew the lid off. There will never be the need to put the lid back on, because in future, business will be conducted by methods that will require no pressure. The actual capital value of your brains may be determined by the amount of income you can produce by marketing your services. A fair estimate of the capital value of your services may be made by multiplying your annual income by 16 2/3, as it is reasonable to estimate that your annual income represents 6% of your capital value. Money rents for 6 per annum. Money is worth no more than brains. It is often worth much less. Competent brains if effectively marketed, represent a much more desirable form of capital than that which is required to conduct a business dealing in commodities, because brains are a form of capital which cannot be permanently depreciated through depressions, nor can this form of capital be stolen or spent. Moreover, the money which is essential for the conduct of business is as worthless as a sand dune until it has been mixed with efficient brains. The 30 major causes of failure. How many of these are holding you back? Life's greatest tragedy consists of men and women who earnestly try and fail. The tragedy lies in the overwhelmingly large majority of people who fail, as compared to the few who succeed. I have had the privilege of analyzing several thousand men and women, 98% of whom were classed as failures. There is something radically wrong with a civilization and a system of education which permit 98% of the people to go through life as failures. But I did not write this book for the purpose of moralizing on the rights and wrongs of the world. That would require a book 100 times the size of this one. My analysis work proved that there are 30 major reasons for failure and 13 major principles through which people accumulate fortunes. In this chapter, a description of the 30 major causes of failure will be given. As you go over the list, check yourself by it, point by point, for the purpose of discovering how many of these causes of failure stand between you and success. Number 1, unfavorable hereditary background. There is but little, if anything, which can be done for people who are born with deficiency in brain power. This philosophy offers but one method of bridging this weakness, through the aid of the mastermind. Observe with profit, however, that this is the only one of the 30 causes of failure which may not be easily corrected by any individual. Number 2, lack of well-defined purpose in life. There is no hope of success for the person who does not have a central purpose or definite goal at which to aim. 98 out of every 100 of those whom I have analyzed had no such aim. Perhaps this was the number 3, lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. We offer no hope for the person who is so indifferent as not to want to get ahead in life and who is not willing to pay the price. Number 4, insufficient education. This is a handicap which may be overcome with comparative ease. Experience has proved that the best educated people are often those who are known as self-made or self-educated. It takes more than a college degree to make one a person of education. Any person who is educated is one who has learned to get whatever he wants in life without violating the rights of others. Education consists not so much of knowledge, but of knowledge. Effectively and persistently applied. Men are paid not merely for what they know, but more particularly for what they do with that which they know. Number 5, lack of self-discipline. Discipline comes through self-control. This means that one must control all negative qualities. Before you can control conditions, you must first control yourself. Self-mastery is the hardest job you will ever tackle. If you do not conquer self, you will be conquered by self. You may see at one and the same time both your best friend and your greatest enemy by stepping in front of a mirror. Number 6, ill health. No person may enjoy outstanding success without good health. Many of the causes of ill health are subject to mastering control. These in the main are: A. Overeating of foods not conducive to health. B. Wrong habits of thought, giving expression to negatives. C. Wrong use of and overindulgence in sex. D. Lack of proper physical exercise. E. An inadequate supply of fresh air due to improper breathing. Number 7, unfavorable environmental influences during childhood. As the twig is bent, so shall the tree grow. Most people who have criminal tendencies acquire them as the result of bad environment and improper associates during childhood. Number 8, procrastination. This is one of the most common causes of failure. Old man procrastination stands within the shadow of every human being, waiting his opportunity to spoil one's chances of success. Most of us go through life as failures because we are waiting for the time to be right, to start doing something worthwhile. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command. And better tools will be found as you go along. Number 9, lack of persistence. Most of us are good starters but poor finishers of everything we begin. Moreover, people are prone to give up at the first signs of defeat. There is no substitute for the persistence. The person who makes persistence his watchword discovers that all man failure finally becomes tired and makes his departure. Failure cannot cope with persistence. Number 10, negative personality. There is no hope of success for the person who repels people through a negative personality. Success comes through the application of power, and power is attained through the cooperative efforts of other people. A negative personality will not induce cooperation. 11, lack of controlled sexual urge. Sex energy is the most powerful of all the stimuli which move people into action. Because it is the most powerful of the emotions, it must be controlled through transmutation and converted into other channels. 12, uncontrolled desire for something for nothing. The gambling instinct drives millions of people to failure. Evidence of this may be found in a study of the Wall Street crash of '29, during which 29, during which millions of people tried to make money by gambling on stock margins. 13. Lack of well-defined power of decision. Men who succeed reach decision promptly and change them, if at all, very slowly. Men who fail reach decisions, if at all, very slowly and change them frequently and quickly. Indecision and procrastination are twin brothers. Where one is found, the other may usually be found also. Kill off this pair before they completely hog-tie you to the treadmill of failure. 14. One or more of 6 basic fears. These fears have been analyzed for you in a later chapter. They must be mastered before you can market your services effectively. 15. Wrong selection of a mate in marriage. This a most common cause of failure. The relationship of marriage brings people intimately into contact. Unless this relationship is harmonious, failure is likely to follow. Moreover, it will be a form of failure that is marked by misery and unhappiness, destroying all signs of ambition. 16. Over caution. The person who takes no chances generally has to take whatever is left when others are through choosing. Over-caution is bad as under-caution. Both are extremes to be guarded against. Life itself is filled with the element of chance. 17. Wrong selection of associates in business. This is one of the most common causes of failure in business. In marketing personal services, one should use great care to select an employer who will be an inspiration and who is himself intelligent and successful. We emulate those with whom we associate most closely. Pick an employer who is worth emulating. 18. Superstition and prejudice. Superstition is a form of fear. It is also a sign of ignorance. Men who succeed keep open minds and are afraid of nothing. 19. Wrong selection of vocation. No man can succeed in a line of endeavor which he does not like. The most essential step in marketing of personal services is that of selecting an occupation into which you can throw yourself wholeheartedly. 20. Lack of concentration of effort. The jack of all trades seldom is good at any. Concentrate all of your efforts on one definite chief aim. 21. The habit of indiscriminate spending. The spendthrift cannot succeed, mainly because he stands entirely in fear of poverty. Form the habit of systematic saving by putting aside a definite percentage of your income. Money in the bank gives one a very safe foundation of courage when bargaining for the sale of personal services. Without money, you must take what one is offered and be glad to get in. 22. Lack of enthusiasm. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be convincing. Moreover, Enthusiasm is contagious, and the person who has it under control is generally welcome in any group of people. 23. Intolerance. The person with a closed mind on any subject seldom gets ahead. Intolerance means that one has stopped acquiring knowledge. The most damaging form of intolerance are those connected with religious, racial, and political differences of opinion. 24. Intemperance. The most damaging forms of intemperance are connected with eating, strong drink, and sexual activities. Overindulgence in any of these is fatal to success. 25. An ability to cooperate with others. More people lose their positions and their big opportunities in life because of this fault than for all other reasons combined. It is a fault which is no well-informed business people or leader will tolerate. 26. Possession of power that was not acquired through self-effort. Sons and daughters of wealthy men and others who inherit money which they did not earn. Power in the hands of one who did not acquire it gradually is often fatal to success. Quick riches are more dangerous than poverty. 27. Intentional dishonesty. There is no substitute for honesty. One may be temporarily dishonest by force of circumstances over which one has no control, without permanent damage. But there is no hope for the person who is dishonest by choice. Sooner or later, his deeds will catch up with him and he will pay by loss of reputation or perhaps even loss of liberty. 28. Egotism and vanity. These qualities serve as red lights which warn others to keep away. They are fatal to success. 29. Guessing instead of thinking. Most people are too indifferent or lazy to acquire facts with which to think accurately. They prefer to act on opinions created by guesswork or snap judgments. 30. Lack of capital. This is a common cause of failure among those who start out in business for the first time, without sufficient reserve of capital to absorb the shock of their mistakes and to carry them over until they have established a reputation. 31.
Zoya, excuse me, please take a break. Thank you for your reading. And I would like to ask continue to read. Manager from New Jersey, the most reliable manager and friend and partner, Iris Christopher. Iris, please go ahead.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Alex.
Zoya, again.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Zoe. 31. Under this, name any particular cause of failure from which you have suffered that has not been included in the foregoing list. In these 30 major causes of failure is found a description of tragedy of life, which obtains for practically every person who tries and fails. It will be helpful if you can induce someone who knows you well to go over the list with you and help to analyze you by the 30 causes of failure. It may be beneficial if you try this alone. Most people cannot see themselves as others see them. You may be one who cannot. The oldest of admonitions is man, know thyself. If you market merchandise successfully, you must know the merchandise. The same is true in marketing personal services. You should know all of your weaknesses in order that you may either bridge them or eliminate them entirely. You should know your strength in order that you may call attention to it when selling your services. You can know yourself only through accurate analysis. The folly of ignorance in connection with self was displayed by a young man who applied to the manager of a well known business for a position. He made a very good impression until the manager asked him what salary he expected. He replied that he had no fixed sum in mind, lack of definite aim. The manager said, "We will pay you all you are worth after we try you out for a week." "I will not accept it," the applicant replied, "because I am getting more than that where I am now employed." Before you even start to negotiate for readjustment of your salary in your present position or seek employment elsewhere, be sure that you are worth more than you now receive. The one thing you to want money, everyone wants more, but it is something entirely different to be worth more. Many people mistake their wants for their just dues. Your financial requirements or wants have nothing whatever to do with your worth. Your value is established entirely by your ability to render useful service or your capacity to induce others to render such service. Take inventory of yourself. 28 questions you should answer. Annual self analysis is an essential in the effective marketing of personal services, as is annual inventory in merchandising. Moreover, the yearly analysis should disclose a decrease in faults and increase in virtues. One goes ahead, stands still, or goes backward in life. One's object should be, of course, to go ahead. Annual self-analysis will disclose whether advancement has been made, and if so, how much. It will also disclose any backward steps one may have made. The effective marketing of personal services requires one to move forward even if the progress is slow. Your annual self-analysis should be made at the end of each year, so you can include your New Year's resolution and improvements which the analysis indicates should be made. Take this inventory by asking yourself the following questions, and by checking your answers with the aid of someone who will not permit you to deceive yourself as to their accuracy. Self-analysis questionnaire for personal inventory. Number 1. Have I attained the goal which I established as my objective for this year? You should work with definite yearly objective to be attained as part of your major life objective. Number 2. Have I delivered the service of the best possible quality which I was capable, or could I have improved any part of this service? Number 3. Have I delivered service in the possible quantity of which I was capable? Number 4. Has the spirit of my conduct been harmonious and cooperative at all times? Number 5. Have I permitted the habit of procrastination to decrease my efficiency, and if so, to what extent? Number 6. Have I improved my personality, and if so, in what ways? Number 7. Have I been persistent in following my plans through my completion? Number 8. Have I reached decision promptly and definitely on all occasions? Number 9. Have I permitted any one or more of the 6 basic fears to decrease my efficiency? Number 10, have I been either overcautious or undercautious? Number 11, has my relationship with my associates in work been pleasant or unpleasant? If it's been unpleasant, has the fault been partly or wholly mine? 12. Have I dissipated any of my energy through lack of concentration of effort? 13. Have I been open-minded and tolerant in connection with all subjects? 14. In what way have I improved my ability to render service? 15. Have I been intemperate in any of my habits? 16. Have I expressed either openly or secretly any form of egotism? 17. Has my conduct toward my associate been such that it has been induced them to respect me? 18. Have my opinion and decisions have been based upon guesswork or accuracy of analysis and thought? 19. Have I followed the habit of budgeting my time, my expenses, and my income? And have I been conservative in these budgets? 20. How much time have I devoted to unprofitable effort which might I have used to better advantage? 21. How may I rebudget my time and change my habits so I will be more efficient during the coming year? 22. Have I been guilty of any conduct which was not approved by my conscience? 23. In what ways have I rendered more service and better service than I was paid to render? 24. Have I been unfair to anyone? If so, in what way? 25. If I had been the purchaser of my own services for the year, would I be satisfied with my purchase? 26. Am I in the right vocation? And if not, why not? 27. Has the purchaser of my service have been satisfied with the service I have rendered? And if not, why not? 28. What is my present rating on the fundamental principles of success? Make this rating fairly and frankly, and have it checked by someone who is courageous enough to do it accurately. Having read and assimilated the information conveyed through this chapter, you are now ready to create a practical plan for marketing your personal services. In this chapter will be found an adequate description of every principle essential in planning the sale of personal services, including the major attributes of leadership, the most common causes of failure in leadership, a description of the fields of opportunity for leadership, the main causes of failure in all walks of life, and important questions which should be used in self-analysis. This extensive and detailed presentation of accurate information has been included because it will be needed by all who must begin the accumulation of riches by marketing personal services. Those who have lost their fortunes and those who are just beginning to earn money have nothing but personal services to offer in return for riches. Therefore, it is essential that they have available in the practical information needed to market services to best advantage. The information contained in this chapter will be of great value to all who aspire to attain leadership in any calling. It will be particularly helpful to those aiming those market their services as business or industrial executives. Complete assimilation and understanding of the information here conveyed will be helpful in marketing one's own services, and it will also help one to become more analytical and capable of judging people. The information will be priceless to personal directors, employment managers, and other executives charged with selection of employees and maintenance of efficient organizations. If you doubt this statement, test its soundness by answering in writing the 28 self analysis question. That might be both interesting and profitable, even though you do not doubt the soundness of the statement. Where and how one may find opportunities to accumulate riches. Now that we have analyzed the principles by which riches may be accumulated, we naturally ask, where may one find favorable opportunities to apply these principles? Very well. Let us take an inventory and see what the United States of America offer the person seeking riches, great or small. To begin with, let us remember, all of us, that we live in a country where every law abiding citizen enjoys freedom of thought and freedom of deed unequaled anywhere in the world. Most of us have never taken inventory of the advantages of this freedom. We have never compared our limited freedom with the curtailed freedom in other countries. Here, we have freedom of thought, freedom in the choice of and enjoyment of education, freedom in religion, freedom in politics, freedom in choice of business, profession, or occupation, freedom to accumulate and own without molestation all property we can accumulate, freedom to choose our place of residence, freedom in marriage, freedom through equal opportunity to all races, freedom of travel from one state to another, freedom in choice of foods, and freedom to aim for any station in life for which we have prepared ourselves, even for the presidency of the United States. We have other forms of freedom, but this list will give bird's eye view of the most important, which constitute opportunity of the highest order. This advantage of freedom is all the more conspicuous because United States is only country guaranteed to every citizen, whether native, born, or naturalized, so broad and varied a list of freedom. Next, let us recount some of the blessings which our widespread freedom has placed within our hands. Take the average American family, for example, meaning the family of average income, and some of the benefits available to every member of the family in this land of opportunity and plenty. A. Food. Next to freedom of thought and deed comes food, clothing, and shelter, the three basic necessities of life. Because of our universal freedom, the average American family has available at its very door the choicest selection of food to be found anywhere in the world and at prices within its financial range. A family of two living in the heart of Times Square district of New York City, far removed from the source of production of food, took careful inventory of the cost of a simple breakfast, with this astonishing result. Articles of food cost at breakfast table. Grapefruit juice from Florida. 2. Ripple wheat breakfast food, Kansas Farm. 2. Tea from China. 2. Bananas from South America. 2.5. Toasted bread from Kansas Farm. 1. Fresh country eggs from Utah. 7. Sugar from Cuba or Utah. Half. Butter and cream from New England. 3. Grand total 20. It is not very difficult to obtain food in a country where two people can have breakfast consisting of all they need for a dime apiece. Observe that this simple breakfast was gathered by some strange form of magic from China, South America, Utah, Kansas, and the New England states and delivered on the breakfast table ready for consumption in the very heart of the most crowded city in America. at cost well within the means of a most humble laborer. The costs included all federal, state, and city taxes. Here is a fact that politicians did not mention when they're crying out to the voters to throw their opponents out of office because the people were being taxed to death. B. Shelter. This family lives in a comfortable apartment, heated by steam, lighted with electricity, with gas for cooking, all for $65 a month. In a smaller city, a more sparse settled part of the New York City, the same apartment could be had for as low as $20 a month. The toast they had for breakfast in the food
Excuse me for a second, Iris. I just would like to remind everybody that it's a different price right now because it was almost 100 years ago. So don't get scared that you pay too much for apartment. 100 years ago.
Yeah,
Please go ahead. Sorry.
all right. The toast they had for breakfast in the food estimate was toasted on an electric toaster, which cost but a few dollars. The apartment is cleaned with a vacuum sweeper that is run by electricity. Hot and cold water is available at all times in the kitchen and bathroom. The food is kept cool in a refrigerator that is run by electricity. The wife curls her hair, washes her clothes, and irons them with easily operated electrical equipment on power obtained by sticking a plug in the wall. The husband shaves with the electric shaver, and they receive entertainment from all over the world, 24 hours a day if they want it, without cost by merely turning the dial of the radio. There are other conveniences in this apartment, but foregoing list will give a fair idea of some of the concrete evidences of the freedom we of America enjoy. And this is neither political nor economic propaganda. C. Clothing. Anywhere in the United States, the woman of average clothing requirements can dress comfortably and neatly for less than $200 a year, and the average man can dress for the same or less. Only the three basic necessities of food, clothing, and shelter have been mentioned. The average American citizen has other privileges and advantages available in return for the modest effort not exceeding 8 hours per day of labor. Among this is the privilege of automobile transportation, in which one can go and come at will at very small cost. The average American has security of property rights not found in any other country in the world. He can place his surplus money in a bank with the assurance that his government will protect it and make good to him if the bank fails. If an American citizen wants to travel from one state to another, he needs no passport, no one's permission. He may go when he pleases and return at will. Moreover, he may travel by train, private automobile, bus, airplane, or ship as his pocketbook permits. In Germany, Russia, Italy, and most of other European and Oriental countries, the people cannot travel with so much freedom and at so little cost. The miracle that has provided these blessings? We often hear politicians proclaiming the freedom of America when they solicit votes, but seldom do they take the time or devote sufficient effort to the analysis of the source or nature of this freedom. Having no axe to grind, no grudge to express, no ulterior motives to be carried out, I had the privilege of going into frank analysis of that mysterious, abstract, greatly misunderstood something which gives to every citizen of America more blessings, more opportunities to accumulate wealth, more freedom of every nature than they may be found in any other country.
Thank you, Iris. Please take a break. I believe that we should stop to reading it right now because it's a lot of information for us. to review, to read, and to study. I think there are 30 causes or reasons for failure must be reviewed. And as far as you know, this webinar will be recorded. It's now in a recording mode, so you will have a chance to review it over and over again. And I think it would be good for us if next time, next webinar, next Monday, we start with review or share information what causes affect each of us. Every person might have different causes or reasons for failure and success also. So I would like to thank you, both readers, Iris and Zoya, and I have some video to share with everybody right now. And of course, thank you everybody who joined us. I have another, let me share screen with everybody, and we will watch some very interesting video, and I highly recommend to take a notes. If you want to review it, I could review it again because there are so many beautiful places you are going to see as of now. Zoya, please confirm what do you see on the screen.
The same page. Now it's, yeah.
Okay, let's go. And Zoya, please translate some sentences from Russian to English.
Okay.
Thank you.
Interesting facts, part 3. Do you hear me? In the desert of Tarfun in China, the tourist hair suddenly stood on end. The hotels that seem unreal. Skylarks in Peru. Do you hear me? Sky Cloud PNP in China. Marriott Hall View in Canada. The lake hanging over the ocean, Faroe Islands. The most beautiful cafe. Sasha, do you hear me?
Excuse me?
Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Absolutely yes. Yes, absolutely yes.
Oh,
I
okay,
stop it
because-
for reasons because it's unbelievable picture
Yeah.
here, ocean, and above the ocean is the lake.
Yes, the lake hanging over the ocean.
Yes,
It is
right here,
Faroe
over
Islands.
the ocean. I did it on purpose. I want to everybody enjoy it. It's unbelievable view. Let's continue.
The most beautiful cafe in Thailand. The town of Chiang Rai. The biggest in the world park aquarium in China. The richest fountain in the world is in Rome. The biggest in the world monument to Christopher Columbus, the Castle of Calamari. One of the oldest. This door is one of the oldest in the world. These doors are in the St. John's Cathedral.
2,000 years.
Yeah, they were built 18 years before Christ. The elevator that never stops in Prague, which is called Paternoster. 5 natural phenomena everybody needs to see. The eyes of needles, icy flowers, methane pancake bubbles, clouds with holes. The street, the width of which is only 70 centimeters in Czech Republic. Why are these deers dancing in circles? The vehicles run under the water. This is the tunnel Saihai under the lake Jiangxi in China. This is not a hurricane, it's just a room with a stone mold. Spa salon in Milan. Thermo Milan Spa. That is what a zoo should be. The zoo concept in Liptov, Mukulashi.
Thank you,
Beautiful.
Alex. Thank you for
Interesting.
translating.
Thank you for translating, Zoya. Would you like to review any moments?
Thank you, Alex.
Okay,
Gorgeous.
beautiful, absolutely unbelievable, unbelievable.
Every fact is just incredible.
It's amazing. My God. Thank you so much. Alex, you always giving us opportunity to enjoy having fun.
Good.
Let's go.
Very interesting.
И
Okay,
всем
thank.
нам разошлите.
No, you have to travel around the world. No, and you could watch it on recorded webinar, Lilichka. Mañana. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you to all
Thank you.
readers, Zoya
Thank you so
and
much to all readers, to
Iris, and thank
everybody.
you, everybody. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye,
Goodbye,
Bye.
Thank you,
everybody.
guys. Bye-bye. Enjoy your week.